hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Here we go, car starts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. Spectacular fashion.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monster Mile Dover Speedway. Used to be Dover International Speedway, but hell, it's close enough at this point. Get ready for the next round of the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series with Goat Locker Racing. You're going to see it all live here on V-Speed. Who is going to tame Monster the Mile, or Miles the Monster? We'll find out here very soon. Good evening, folks. I'm the redneck announcer, Jake Reeves. My good buddy Daniel Cunningham, who called the Lincoln Tech IndyCar race with me last night, and obviously we jinxed the hell out of a lot of the drivers. But he's beside me, co-announcing as well as Double L Lucas Line's own production. Daniel, buddy, I love this place. I really do. I love this place. I love watching races here. I love racing here. I've won races here, believe it or not. And I've screwed the poops, and I've wrecked the whole damn field here at this track as well. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, it definitely will. Dover is one of my favorite tracks on iRacing. Kind of like what you said. It's fun to race at. It's fun to watch races at. Sometimes in real life it might leave a little bit to be desired, but luckily it's a little bit more fun on the sim. And I think they've got a good track picked out here to round out our regular season and set the playoff field for the chase for the championship, whatever you want to call it here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, this is the regular season finale. Then we get into some playoffs, take a look at the schedule, let you know kind of what we're looking at, get ready for season 8 for the playoffs. Obviously, we are at Dover. Next week, we go to Charlotte, not the Roval, thank God, but we go to Charlotte. And then obviously Bristol, which will round out the end of round of 12. You go to Bristol. That's literally like a Talladega, if you will. Then you go to Michigan, and then you got Phoenix, which is much like a Bristol. I mean, you got 2 short tracks to try to end it, and then you go all the way to a track much like Homestead. Obviously, we had Homestead earlier on in the season, but this track, Kansas, very much like Homestead, with the multiple grooves, the progressive banking, all that good stuff. So Dover is going to be where we got to see where everybody's going to stack up and who's going to make it into that round of 12. This is going to get good right here, obviously, here tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of variety there as we get down into the playoffs. I think Kansas is probably the best track that you could have a championship race at. You talked about the points. Let's go ahead and take a look at that too, because this battle at the cut line is really tight between a lot of drivers. See, Jeremy Gardner, Cody McElwain, Timothy Wilms, they're all locked in with a win. As long as Ryan Pendleton starts the race tonight, which he is here, he showed up, he said, yeah, I guess I better, so I can lock in my spot here to meet the minimum race requirement. He's here, he's locked in as long as he takes the grid. You look at guys like Silvers, Justice, Canova, even Patrick Drabick and Jamie Lipke are in a pretty good spot on points coming into this race tonight. But then you see Cody Anderson, Jake Ellingson, they're only 4 above the cut line. There's a tie at the cut line between George Jewell and James Kaufman. And you've even got Barkis, Charles Abert. They're within shouting distance. So is Tyler Evans. You got those guys down there below that could still win and lock their way in, move the cut line all around. So there's a lot of guys that got to be sweating this one out tonight.
And it makes it good for us. To be honest with you, guys sweating it out. It sucks for them, but it's great for us because we love the entertainment. We love the drama. Unless you're an actual real NASCAR fan and watch what happened over at Phoenix over the past weekend, but that's a whole different story for a whole different day. Daniel, I'm sure you would agree with that. But Dover International Speedway, we talked about this a while ago. This place is very, very tricky. Can be somewhat multi-grooved, I guess you could say. I mean, we've seen guys kind of run up on the top, run the middle, and make time, make runs, make passes. But most of the time, you can hear me say this a lot here tonight, but a lot of times you're going to see them down on the bottom side, down in the cellar where Grandpappy hides the moonshine from Granny. You're going to hear that a lot here tonight.
Yeah, and one thing about this track, too, is it's self-cleaning. You hear that a lot in real life, that when there's a spin or an incident in front of you, they have a tendency to come back down the track, and that's where you see guys that try to shoot that bottom that'll get caught up in incidents after the fact. So a lot of danger at this place, too. It's easy to get caught up in someone else's wreck or someone else's mess. But let's go ahead and take a look at the race analysis for this race this evening. 110 laps. Pit road speed, only 35 miles an hour. This is one of the trickiest to get onto, get off of. And, if Lucas Lyons wasn't muted, he could also tell you it's one of the easiest ones to speed on because he's done that a time or 12, including once when I was spotting for him and explicitly told him not to speed, and he goes and speeds anyway. 3 sets of tires available in the pits, 2 green, white checker if we need them. Only 60% fuel tonight, 57 to 62 laps on a tank. So be a one-stopper at least for these drivers here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, that is fun. I mean, when you mentioned it with the pit road, how it is, just think about you're trying to get on the entrance of pit road. I mean, this place right here, it's had all kinds of history, 9 Ways to Sunday. I look at it as, I love this track, obviously, because my favorite driver, Martin Truex Jr., got his first win here. This is where they called him Monday Martin because, he won a race here, on Monday for the NASCAR Cup Series and everything else. So, but obviously the Matt Kenseth deal where he screwed up, he hit the barrels going in the pits, and then Joey Logano flipping over there 3 or 4. I mean, you get it all out of every bit of this. But let's take a look at the starting lineup here tonight for Dover for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series, and obviously with the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very, very beginning, local and veteran certified, but they do well. They do good in the community, so thank you very much to Jam Printing Promotions. And on the pole, how about you? Jamie Barkus, one of the big dogs here with Goat Locker. I mean, literally, he really is. Coming out of it with the pole here tonight. Starting on the outside, Dylan Canova in the second spot in the 70 car. Patrick Dravick right behind his co-boss, if you will, starting at P3 with Ryan Pendleton. All he needed to do was start, and he'll start from the 4th spot here this evening. Timothy Williams already locked him up a spot. He'll be starting 5th. George Jewell in the 36. Keep your eye on Mr. Joel here tonight. He will be one of those drivers we're going to have to watch out for right there on the cut line. He'll be rolling off from P6. Starting in P7, you got Alex Cruz, Jake Ellenson on the outside. He'll be starting in P8. And then rounding out the top 10, Tyler Justice and Big Daddy G, Jeremy Gardner.
Starting just outside the top 10, you've got Cody Anderson in 11th. Chuck Pegleg Phelps rolling off in 12th. Starting in 13th, it's going to be Charles Abert and James Kaufman in 14th. 2 of those drivers near the cut line. Claire Sisk rolling off in 15th. Jamie Lipke to her outside in the 16th position. Starting in 17th, it's going to be James Silvers with Tyler Evans in that 18th position. Rounding out our field here this evening is going to be James Goshen and Jacob Lindke in 19th and 20th.
Here we go, getting ready to rock and roll here tonight at Dover. This pace car starting to work its way through turn number 3 and turn number 4. Line it up out there on the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from. We don't give a damn about an address. We just want to know if you're ready for the regular season finale, Season 8, the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series with Go Locker Racing live on V-Speed. We are
they're
ready.
wrecking already.
Happened, but hell, they're already wrecking. Patrick Dravick, one of them wrecking. We got a caution at the start-finish line. They barely beat the pace car going down the front stretch.
Oh, that was massive tire spin from both drivers on the front row, Jamie Barkis and Dylan Canova. Cold tires, a culprit here all the time, even when they're brand new, rolling off the grid. Taking a look here at the replay, you're right, they didn't even hardly get past the pace car. You can see there, Barkis gets turned by Drabick into the 23. Drabick hard into the outside wall. Oh, Jeremy Gardner. He also got big damage. So did Cody Anderson. Jamie Lipke back there with damage on the front of her car as well. Good grief, I think that took out about half the field already.
You know, Daniel, I talked about this a while ago. Shameless plug on my behalf for some of the stupid stuff that I've done in the past. This happened at Dover. Not the rear wheel tire spin, but these restarts is very, very tricky. And I remember it plain as day, ran a truck race here. It was an official race, and completely screwed it up on the start. Was sitting second gear, shifted up to third. And when I shifted up, actually, hell no, I never made it to third gear. I was trying to go to third gear, was in second gear, went straight to first gear, and I started fourth. Excuse me, I was second on the outside, started fourth out of about 20 trucks. Literally got a complete wipe out of that right there. I mean, that's basically what it looked like when I screwed the pooch that night. Here's the good thing about these drivers. They got a faster pair that they can burn if they need to. That night when they do not have a faster pair, well, then they're in the same damn boat I was that particular day when I screwed up, because we didn't have a faster pair neither.
Yeah, this, with the Premier Series, both the Wednesday night and the Friday night Premier Series, no faster pairs. So if you're somebody that got pretty big damage on that, you're going to be spending some time on pit road to get that fixed. Let's go ahead and try to reset your field real quick here with all of that calamity. Coming out in P1 is going to be Dylan Canova right now. Timothy Wilms moves up to second. Alex Cruz is currently in third. Tyler Justice gained 5 spots by just not hitting anything. He's up to fourth. Jake Ellingson in fifth. And in the rest of your top 10, Claire Sisk, James Kaufman, James Silvers, Chuck Feltz, and Charles Aber. You've got guys that have picked up 9 spots already by just not hitting anything on the initial start of the race. And you can see there, boss man Patrick Drabick sitting on pit road, getting damage fixed. Looks like we've got a few drivers that are going to be a lap down here, including Drabick, Jeremy Gardner. Believe that Ryan Pendleton, Jamie Lipke going to be a lap down as well here. So, actually, no, correction. As of right now, just Drabick and Gardner a lap down, but lights are off on the pace car, Jake. What do you say we line this up and try to do this again?
Yeah, let's see what happens. And thank you very much for being just straight up blunt with how you analysis that. I mean, up 5 spots, and all he had to do was not hit a damn thing. I mean, but how the restart was, that's all he had to do. I mean, that's all some of them had to do was just gain the spots, just try to drive through there and not hit anything. And keep in mind, this track is not that wide. It's not as wide as what you would see at like a Daytona, Talladega, or Atlanta. I keep feeling like I say that a whole lot. I think I might have said something within that nature last night when we were doing Road America for the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series. So this place is not that wide, and you cannot screw up and get yourself in a bad spot, especially right here on these restarts. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Damn, here we go. We got another spinner at the back, and caution is out again.
Good grief. Yeah, caution is indeed out again. Dylan Canova, he had the start nailed that time. He got out to a pretty good jump there. but it looked like with Claire, Sisk was actually the first one that got into the wall in that 12 car on the outside lane there. Looked like she had a little bit of tire spin, got into the outside wall, and then that just stacked everyone up behind it. Gonna have to take a look here on this replay. You can see Canova there. He gets a hell of a jump out to the lead. And yeah, Claire turns to the left. And actually, I don't even think that was related. Back behind her, that was just, it looked like Chuck Phelps just got that really bad tire spin down on the bottom lane. And I couldn't tell if he got help from behind or if he spun the tires first and ended up getting the help after the fact. But yeah, we'll do a quick onboard here with Chuck, and then we're going to take a look at it from the 77 of Tyler Evans here as well and see exactly what happened here. See, just rolling through the restart zone, and oh yeah, he didn't come close to getting help there. That was just tire spin, basically identical to what we saw on the first caution, and it got Chuck Phelps that time.
A lot of you out there in live chat might not understand where I'm fixing to go with this, but Daniel, that is a point for you on the commentator's curse. Just for the simple fact, and for some of you that don't know, we were sitting here and in our Facebook chat, and we were like, oh, there's a possibility they might do it again, and damned if they didn't. And Daniel, you was the one that said that, so you get the point. So Lucas, I don't know if you got the score sheet lined up. May have to update it or something, to keep it updated with that. But I tell you what, let's take a quick commercial break and see if maybe we can reset it. Come back here at Dover and hopefully get us a good, clean restart and get us some green flag racing. Stay with us. Boy, I wish I was recording right there from behind the mic, but I was not. But it is what it is. Getting doubled up for a restart. Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series regular season finale at Dover. Redneck announcer Jake Reeves, obviously with Daniel Cunningham, Double L Lucas Slides on production here tonight. Been a hell of a start. I mean, hell of a race so far. If you're just joining us, you have missed two of the craziest restarts I think I've ever seen in the couple of years, however long I've been doing iRacing broadcasting. It's been crazy sequence. Will they make it a third time for the restarts? We'll see what happens. They hit the restart box. See if everybody straightens it out. Nobody went.
Oh my gosh, they're in the wall again.
Sequence into Alex Cruz going down the front stretch, but they did not spin. We do not have a wreck. We're getting through turn 1 and 2 for the first time under green.
I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know. And for those of y'all that are wondering what's so damn funny, when we were under commercial, I was saying, I wonder if they'll do it a third time. And they damn sure did. So according to Jake Reeves, that counts as a double broadcaster curse. But we've got a full lap in under green. Took us 10 laps to get there. These drivers have made it one full lap around. Dylan Canova out to the lead. Tyler Justice in second. James Silvers, he's up 14 spots in 10 laps because he ain't hit a damn thing yet tonight. And he's the biggest mover of the race so far.
I think we would have to give him a double point out of that one. Just go ahead and just give him 1 point. Just give him an extra point because technically we didn't have a wreck, we didn't have a caution, but we did have wheel spin and we did have contact and we did have little door banging, fender banging, however you want to look at it. The biggest loser out of all of what we're seeing is George Jewell. He is down 12 spots. He is in dead last. He is, I'm assuming, out. You know, he's down 6 laps, so I'm going to assume George Jewell is out. So, yes, we're hearing that he is. Damn, I mean, Daniel, he was right there on that cut line trying to make it in to the playoffs. And, I mean, he can't even make it into the round of 12. And it was just innocence on his part. Everything just happened in front of him. He just wasn't able to get around it. And, unfortunately, George Jewell's out of this thing.
Yeah, now one thing with it, I mean, it is definitely unfortunate. You hate to see anybody's night end that way this early. And, you know, I hate that for George Jewell and especially all those that show up and support him every week in the YouTube chat. You know, you definitely hate that. But the one thing with it is these drivers do get 2 drop weeks to use during the regular season. And unless I'm mistaken, I believe that this race can count as one of their drop races. So even though he is finishing dead last in this race in 18th position, if this is his lowest scoring points race, it'll end up getting dropped and he may still have a way in. It's just going to depend on what happens with some of our other drivers out here this evening. Because in all reality, a lot of those guys that have been right there along that cut line with him, they've run into problems here too. So it's not just a George Jewell bad luck kind of night. It's definitely been a few of our others that have been up there near that cut line as well.
Absolutely. I mean, and, you know, now we're starting to see kind of a green flag run, starting to see most of them on the bottom side down the cellar where Grandpappy hides moonshine from Granny. Others are up on, I guess you could say, not down in the cellar, but they're up on level ground, if you will. More or less right at a living room level. Not all the way up and not all the way down, just kind of somewhere right there in the middle. You know, not on the second floor, but just kind of right there on, you know, floor level, which means they're up about about a lane, give or take. It might be up a little bit. You see them right there with the 77 of Evans, not right on the bottom, just up a little bit. And Daniel, that can be a line that can, I'll be frank with you, can really piss the driver off trying to get around you, because there's no room on the inside right here for Jeremy Gardner to get in there. Evans is kind of blocking that advance on the inside. Well, then he just makes me look like a straight up idiot. He just slides right up and lets Gardner go. But the line that he was running just it's kind of that defensive line, if you will.
Yeah, that's one of the things that definitely can frustrate you here at Dover is you get somebody up there on that top groove. They can play a lot of defense. See here, battle for second underway between Tyler Justice and Jake Ellingson. Looked like Tyler Justice just willing to let Ellingson go at this point, not putting up a huge fight there. So Jake Ellingson doing a nice job moving up into that number 2 position. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's one of the things that can get frustrating here, and then especially in this next gen car, it just drives so weird at this racetrack. I mean, there's really no other way to really describe it. It doesn't feel like any other stock car that you're going to drive here, and it'll just randomly kind of snap loose on you, especially when you got that extra wheel cut into it on the bottom. You're trying to make that pass, you throttle up a little too early. It's easy to make a mistake that way.
A hurry. And speaking of going bye-bye, right here with 21 of 110 here to go here tonight here at Dover. You know, speaking of going bye-bye and everything, talk about, you know, we're seeing some of you asking about the track temp. Some of you are saying it's already 114. Well, let's, for the others out there, you were wrong. It's not 114, unless it went up 2 degrees since I talked about it. But it is at 116 degrees track temp, 86 degrees for the air temp. And Daniel, you know, me and you, like I said, we've raced. Lucas has wrecked more than he's raced. But the track temp at 116, what would be the difference from 116 on asphalt as compared to 116 on concrete like they're racing here tonight?
Dude, you're asking a good one. I don't know. I just go out there and turn the wheel left and hit the loud pedal.
Sounds like last night a little bit here.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly probably the Lucas Lyons answer. But yeah, I mean it does seem like the concrete tracks do tend to be a little bit more temperature sensitive, and especially I mean we've seen it on those 2 initial starts. Well, really all 3 of them, the initial start and the 2 restarts, that this track, it's easy to spin the tires, it's easy to light them up anyway, and then you take that extra grip away, just makes things even more challenging. Going to have these drivers searching around for that grip. See here, good battle going on for position between Kaufman and Tyler Evans, battling for that number 7 spot. And something that I'm kind of seeing here is it looks like Kaufman, I don't want to say he's mirror driving because he's not really blocking or doing anything like that, but it looks like he's changing his lineup just a little bit, trying to take that air away from the 77, and you can see it's working. I mean, it's kind of like what you see in real life here. You get in that wake from somebody else, you get to a certain point, you just lose all the front downforce on the car.
Well, I mean, and it's like you said, Daniel, I mean, what he's doing, it's not necessarily wrong. I mean, he's not doing anything wrong. He's not being a dirty driver for doing it, or hell, maybe maybe that is just his line, and Tyler Evans is running the same exact line the Kaufman's driving. As you see, Evans trying to slide up the racetrack, maybe get a little clean air, may end up getting out or getting something out of it, as he had a run right there on Kaufman. But I mean, that's just how these next gen cars is. As you mentioned, we see it in real life. We see it obviously on the sim. It mimics very, very closely to what it is. And you got to use the aero or air or what have you to your advantage when you're out here trying to defend a spot. It's nothing that you're doing wrong. You're just taking advantages. We have one right there up against the wall, but you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. Can't really nobody say anything about it. I mean, Tyler Evans, he can get mad as hell all he wants to at James Kaufman. Here's the thing. Tyler Evans, he gets around Kaufman, he can do the same damn thing right back to him. It's just one of those things, as you see Sis dropping through the field, obviously 1 lap down as of right now. Lipke trying to go around now, but I mean, that's just how it is. You are in a situation to where you're playing by the rule book with what you have, and you use it to your advantage. You just got to use what you can use, and if you end up screwing somebody over, so be it.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you ever watch me and Lucas race against each other, that's pretty much what we do. We're just dumping dirty air on one another. Usually I do it to him a little bit more because it's just fun to mess with him. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what you got to do. You got to use any tools at your disposal, and that clean air is definitely one that you can use. So, it's interesting to see. But then you take a look at something here like with, you got Pendleton and Barkas running pretty much nose to tail, working their way up through the field. And it doesn't really seem like it's affecting Barkas all that much. So, it's interesting how some of these drivers have kind of come up with little tips and tricks. And of course, they ain't going to share all of them with us. You got to keep some of it to yourself. But even right there, you can kind of see Barkas staying just a little bit offset of Ryan Pendleton through the turns, just trying to keep as much clean air to the front of that number 15 as he can.
Yeah, Jamie Lipke starting to kind of run them down a little bit, about a 10th of a lap faster that time around, about half a second back of Barkas, and then you got Pendleton right there in front of him. So Lipke trying to get up here, get themselves up here inside the top 10. Real quick, I do want to mention this out there on the live chat. Show my boy Daniel Cunningham some love real quick. Earlier today, he didn't know if he was going to be able to make it. He had a little bit of a headache. Daniel, did you take an opportunity to take a couple shots of whiskey before we got this going right here so your head's starting to feel a little bit better? And how are we feeling?
I am feeling better. The migraines are not fun. But I am definitely feeling better. I don't think that whiskey would help a migraine, though. I could be wrong, but I skipped out on that. But yeah, definitely feeling better. I appreciate it, Jake. And at least with me being here, you could just blame me for all the calamity at the beginning. You could just say that somehow or another I put a curse on everybody in this field. I see Mark Cofield out there in the chat saying, who's facing the Cunningham curse tonight? The answer is everybody. Ain't nobody safe from it. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Everybody's getting the Cunningham curse tonight.
Nothing else that you can say about that other than, yes, whiskey does help with a migraine. I have tried it. It works. If you're not a whiskey person, go for vodka. Vodka works out fantastic. And if not, do exactly what everybody else is doing and go all the way down in the cellar where Grandpappy hides the moonshine from Granny, which is exactly where they're running. Get you some shine. That migraine will be gone in an instant. And the reason I say this, Daniel, and a lot of you will agree with me out there in the live chat on this, is if you take a couple of shots, if you take enough shots of whiskey or shot or whatever, and you got a migraine, you take enough of them, you ain't going to worry about how damn bad your head feels because you're going to be so drunk, it ain't going to matter. So that's the point that I was trying to get at. But obviously, I mean, you're not completely trashed. I mean, I've done that before, though. I have been trashed when I've been on the air once or twice. Not on V-Speed, but it was other broadcasts. Canova leads. Ellingson tried to get up here. And also, Samuel Joseph out there in the live chat. Battle for the final spot of the playoffs. Really tight, especially if Jake wins tonight. Jake right there in that spot to where he could change a little bit. And it's going to change big time as we got a caution on the speedway.
Yeah, caution is out on the track. I'll be honest, I did not see who that caution was for. But that is going to give Jeremy Gardner a free pass here to get back on the lead lap. But you know what? That's okay. Our producer, Lucas Lyons, is on top of things. He's got the caution replay queued up here. See the 12 of Claire Sisk already with a little bit of damage from that earlier hit to the wall. You can really see that on the right front there. And I believe coming out of turn number 4, no, not that time around. I thought that there was somebody that was spinning on the front straightaway. Believe it was the 12 of Claire Sisk that did spin, but may have went just a little bit far back on the replay here to be able to catch it. But oh, no, it looked like was actually trying to get the pit road there and missed it. And then trying to get back up to speed on the track in the restart zone of all places. Tires break loose, and it looked like she was actually trying to alt F4 and basically tow back to the pits to not bring one out. But that is going to bring out the caution. It's going to give these drivers an opportunity to hit the pit lane. And Jake, I hope you're not as nervous as I am for this next restart.
I'm very nervous, to be honest with you, because we've already saw what happens with cold tires. Lucas Lyons is absolutely about to. I'll keep it clean, but he's about to be so happy right here for this restart. We'll just put it to you like that. He is ready for this restart. He's ready to kind of see how this is going to pop off, because obviously we saw what happened with cold tires earlier on, and it certainly made some entertainment out of it, but at the same time, it was kind of a bad deal for a lot of drivers like George Jewell, Chuck Phelps, and others 2 straight times. And we'll talk about some points on how we're looking at here in just a little bit. Hell, we'll talk about it right now. There's your points that we're seeing. And obviously with Jake Ellingson right there in that P11 spot, talking about if he gets a win, it will throw him all the way up there in and lock him in. He'll have his win, he'll lock him in, and he ain't got nothing to worry about. You got James Kaufman right there sitting in that spot. Jamie Barkus only 4 points back. Tyler Evans, he's 11 points back. Somehow or another, Tyler Evans gets a win tonight. Hell, he's in. With George Jewell being out, that's probably maybe, like you said, Daniel, could affect him from making it into the playoffs, but we'll see what happens out of all that here for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. And speaking of which, as we're getting ready to double file up and go for a restart, Cruisin Classics, obviously they're a great sponsor, and they are located in Columbus, Ohio, and Cruisin Classics has a BEA uniform 56,000 square foot showroom filled with hundreds of unique automobiles. They damn sure do. There is something for everybody out of their handpicked selection of muscle cars and hot rods. Come on down to visit the facility today. Check out their website at cruisinclassicsinc.com. I have to be honest with you folks, before we go green here, every time I see that Cruisin Classics commercial, Lucas is going to play it now just because I said this. Every time I see that commercial, I feel sad. And the reason I feel sad is because it reminds me that I'm a poor redneck and I can't afford any of those cars that is on that commercial. Hurts my feelings every single time. That's the only way that I get to see them. Live with Go Locker. Hero V speed, green flag is in the air, and they all kept it straight on the restart. Canova tried to get away. Ellis and Silvers, they're going to battle it out for the second spot. Turn 2, almost door banging.
But, talking about that restart, they were definitely taking it easier than they did in the restart zone those first couple of times. Canova got out to a huge jump, but Ellingson and Silvers, even running side by side, already starting to close back in on those two, even back a little bit further. It's an absolute hornet's nest with drivers fighting for position. You see Alex Cruz, Timothy Williams, Tyler Evans, Cody Anderson there also trying to get back on the comeback trail. Another one of those drivers that's right at that cut line that's run into some problems here this evening. So a lot of drivers trying to fight for position, get what they can here early on. I'm going to tell you, there's one other driver that I wouldn't count out of this just yet. That's the driver that got our free pass on that last caution, the 57 of Big Daddy Jeremy Gardner. At the risk of screwing him over and putting a broadcaster curse on him, he was running lap times that were pretty consistent with the leaders that last green flag run. So going to be interesting to see now that he's back on the lead lap if he can work his way up through the field, maybe salvage something out of this one here this evening.
He's got a long way to go. I mean, obviously sitting in the P12 spot trying to work over Jamie Libke. As soon as I say that, goes right below Jamie Libke. Jeremy Gardner in the 57, hell of a number. He drops it down. He will go to the P11 spot, obviously down on the inside. Set his sights on Cody Anderson. Work your way up through here. You see Alex Cruz in the 5. Trying to run down James Kaufman as they thunder past us. Right here on the, Anderson slid up and got up into the fence. Oh, baby, that's one thing I do remember that I loved about this place. You got to save your tires. You can't burn them up. And these walls, for lack of better terms, suck. They're terrible coming off of the corners because it's always that definition we always heard. Be careful, these walls can jump out and bite you, just like a monster would. And that is saying a lot right there coming off turn 2 and turn 4. Plenty of times I've come off turn 2 and I've smoked the wall. Turn 4, I probably smoked it more off of turn 4 than I have off of turn 2. But that wall it does seem like it kind of is, hell, I don't know, maybe about 25 yards to the left when you're coming off of turn 2. At least that's what it feels like to me, Daniel.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like that exit of turn 2 tightens up just a little bit more, especially if you're trying to run some of those higher grooves. Like right here, you see Tyler Justice is doing a nice job with, even though he is running through the middle of the turn on the center there, running up a lane, he's cutting it back down on exit to not have that issue. He's actually got to take a look to the inside here. James Silvers, a little bit of momentum, but yeah, that kind of reminds me of what you were talking about earlier. You get somebody up on that high groove and sometimes it can be just enough to piss you off. You can't get around them. You know that you're faster, but they can carry just enough momentum to hang on to that position running that upper groove.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. But, at what case or at what, at what point are you going to be in a bad spot is what I'm trying to say, running this top side as to what you will burn the tires up more on the top side than you would on the bottom side. Silver's trying to make it stick. You saw Tyler Justice dive down to the inside, tried to make it stick, tried to get a shot. Silver's actually got the run, shot around him on the outside, and gets back to the P3 spot. Dylan Canova, we talked a little bit about him a while ago, and they just started talking more about it because he's still leading this damn thing. But Jake Ellenson is knocking on his barroom door, son. 4/10 of a second back, now under 4/10 of a second. Ellingson is there. Canova is going to have to throw that arrow block in there one way or another if he wants to keep Ellingson behind him.
Yeah, and Dylan Canova is a driver that's new to Goat Locker. I believe it's his first full season over here, but he's shown a lot of speed in the next gen. It's, you know, especially in this series, he's done a lot of, he's had a lot of good luck here. Is actually taking a look a little bit further back. Tyler Justice dropping down the running order. Thought that was the 33 that was up into the wall pretty hard over in turns 1 and 2. Not to cut off of our race leader there, but another one of those that is not locked in by way of a win. Let's go back and take a quick look on the replay here. This was actually, I believe, a little bit after that. Oh, yeah, he was absolutely sideways, and that was a really hard hit to the back of the car.
Uh-oh. Was there contact, though? Did he get into it?
I don't think there was contact. I think it was just all arrow. It looked like the 4 of Silvers moved up. And, oh, yeah, there definitely wasn't contact. That was all just arrow right there with the way that Silvers crossed the back of the car. I mean, he wasn't doing nothing wrong, but that was a big wiggle, and Tyler Justice did everything he could to hang on to it, but still pretty significant contact with the wall there.
Yeah, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse. I mean, you know, how he wiggled, where he was at, just, you know, the steering boxes, the steering pinions, I guess you could say here on these next-gen cars. I mean, he could have straight up got sideways a little bit, tried to get it to come down the track, overcorrect, and then it could have shot up and hit the wall. And it could have been, I mean, literally the car could have, well, for lack of better terms, exploded like we usually see them on iRacing. They don't do it in real life, but you know we've seen them hit the wall, you know, a couple times on some of these tracks, Daniel. And as soon as they hit them, it's like you took a damn Hot Wheels car and just threw it up in the air. So I mean, that could have happened right there for Tyler Justice, and pretty much ended up killing his night. But you know, you would think, you know, his night might be killed, but still got a little bit to go right here. I mean, you know, right here at lap 60. So, you know, we still got a little bit of time before we get to the end of this thing. But so Tyler Justice ain't out of the woods yet, but certainly is going to have to figure out a way to try to fight back and try to get back up there.
Yeah, still got a ways to go in this race. Still got at least one more pit stop left. Driver's not going to be able to make it to the end from where that caution flag came out. So a lot at play here, but taking a look at this battle between James Kaufman and Tyler Evans, they've been stuck together for a while here. And, you know, these are two drivers. You got Tyler Evans was below the cut line coming into this race to make the playoffs. James Kaufman, another one of those that was really, really close to that cut line. Two drivers, you know, we've talked about some of the other guys running into bad luck, having tough nights because of the early calamity. These two taking advantage of it, putting themselves in the best spot possible to try to work their way into the playoffs here in the regular season finale.
Yeah, very good possibility right there, trying to get themselves in position for that. And, you know, we're also here, you know, have us a little graphic right here, a small points graphic that we can show you kind of what we're looking at as far as the points goes and everything else. So we'll be able to show you that. It'll be in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen to kind of let everybody know, okay, this is what we're looking at. This is the cut line, all that good stuff. Obviously, if Ellingson wins, could throw a complete wrench in the playoff system. See Ellingson right there running in the 11th spot. George Jewell, odds are, depending on how the drop week stuff works out, he's out. Kaufman would be in. And then Jamie Barkis right there tried to muster something up and maybe slide up here and make something happen. So Barkis right there in the mix as well. And, you know, let's not count this out. Not trying to throw any shade toward Jake or you know, the Ellingson family here, but Jake's only 4 points up from that cut line. If he blows it one way or another, it could really screw him up. Cody Anderson's about 4 points up as well. So, you know, Ellison's got to keep himself straight. Anderson's got to keep himself straight too. So this cut line, believe it or not, it is it's tighter than what other people think, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it really is. And if you're somebody like Jake Ellingson, how do you approach the rest of this race? I mean, if he goes out there and runs second, he's going to be in. I mean, he's doing everything that he needs to do to lock himself into those playoffs. But if you've got somebody right in front of you for the race lead, is Jake Ellingson, also one of our drivers that has his webcam here this evening, as we talk about him here for just a moment. But if you're somebody like Ellingson, you know, how do you approach it? I mean, me personally, I would probably just say, all right, I'm in second place. I'm in a spot where I can live to fight for a championship next week. Let's just go ahead, ride this out, take care of it. But if there's one thing we know about Jake Ellingson, if he's got the win there in front of him, he's going to go for it. You know that, and I know that. He's going to be aggressive if the opportunity presents itself, and almost to an extent you have to. You want to try to get up there and try to get that race lead, get control in case there is another caution and another restart, that you can be the one trying to get that big jump on the initial takeoff.
But not only that, Daniel, but, you know, you look at it from a different standpoint as well as this. I mean, you got a damn win sitting right there in front of you that you could try to get. I mean, you're looking at a possible spot of trying to get a win. Wins is hard to come by. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what league you're in. It doesn't matter for any of that, for that matter. You got a shot at a win standing right in front of you. It's hard to sit there and tell yourself, or somebody sit there and tell you, hey, let's not do anything crazy. Let's not do anything stupid. Let's just take it easy. Knowing that a damn win's sitting right there in front of you, you're a racer at heart. You want to win. And you're going to do everything in your power to win that race. So to sit there and kind of say, oh, let's just ride. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think he's driving. I mean, but I understand, you know, Jake, obviously with the mentality like you were talking about. Honestly, I think he's driving the hell out of that 27, trying to get up there, have a shot at Canova to try to win this thing. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I would not be surprised if Jake is trying to figure out how to get up there and get that win. You know, he's talked about it even before. I know he mentioned it when I was on Goat Talk with him before. He's aggressive. He wants to win. Like you said, we're all racers. We all want to win. So totally understand that mindset. Taking a look here at the running order, you know, that driver that I was talking about earlier, that 57 of Gardner, look, he's up there trying to work his way up to the 4th position, trying to get a little 2-for-1 here, get around Tyler Evans and James Silvers, but he's worked his way up into the top 5. Now make that the number 4 position. So really strong recovery here for Jeremy Gardner to this point. Also repping one of our league sponsors there. He's got that Save 22 logo on the hood of that machine. Want to give them a shout out. Save 22 is a 501c3 organization dedicated to preventing suicide among veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders. Their unwavering mission extends to 4 critical pillars: shield, assist, volunteer, educate. Save22.vet, as you can see back behind that 57 car, they were spread out just about from wall to wall down the front straightaway. Everybody all over the place just trying to avoid one another there.
Oh, boy, this looks like Talladega on a 1-mile track. Literally, Jamie Barkas leading the charge. We got one right there trying to make it. James Silvers absolutely blew it going into the entry of pit road. Had an opportunity, thought about it, said he was going to dive down there. But his car said, hell no, not today. You see Silvers on the bottom. He's got Kaufman there, Anderson there as well. Wow, Justice almost ran him over. We talked about this just a little bit, Daniel. This place sucks trying to get on the pit road. We talked about the Matt Kenseth deal where Kenseth tried to lock it up, come down, and, ended up hitting the barrels because obviously these barrels don't move. Good God almighty. Talk about moving. Tyler Justice moved at the last second and almost ended up pulling a Ty Dillon, William Byron deal here at Dover. But, I'm telling you, this pit road could end up being the reason why some drivers may win or lose. Is now you see Dylan Canova taking the opportunity to go down pit road, and got to be careful. Very, very slow pit road right here. got to keep it right there. I believe it's 35 miles an hour, if I remember correctly, because I've sped here plenty of times. So you got to be careful on this pit road at 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, this is going to kick off our final pit stop of the day, at least the final scheduled pit stop, provided a caution doesn't come out. You can see Canova, Tyler Evans, Jamie Lipke all on pit road. James Silver's there. You can see exiting pit lane. So this is definitely opening the floodgates for these drivers. And Jake Ellingson, he's electing to run this stint a little bit longer. Same with Jeremy Gardner, Jamie Farkas. They're all running it longer. Cody Anderson, Kaufman, they're both doing the same. And I kind of like that strategy, because the issue is, with as slow as the pit road speed is here, you're guaranteed to go one lap down. And depending on how far back you are of the leader, you may go 2 laps down. So like James Silvers right now, especially with that incident that he had trying to get the pit road the first time, he's currently 2 laps down. If a caution comes out, even if he takes a wave around, he's still pretty well screwed on track position at that point.
Damn, tell us how you really feel. I mean, literally, tell us how you really feel. Which, Daniel, buddy, that's why we love you to death. Obviously, you told us how you really felt last night with the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series, and shameless plug right here, smack dab in the middle of green flag pit stops, because, hey, why not? They paid goat lockers, so we're going to talk about them. Lincoln Tech, obviously Lincoln's mission is to provide superior education and training to their students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They're one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with, I still can't believe it every time I read it, 23 campuses. That's a lot. And obviously they are the title sponsor of the Lincoln Tech IndyCar Series on Tuesday nights. So thank you very much to Lincoln Tech for their sponsorship with Goat Locker. And Jake Ellison jumped down pit road. Look who's up there leading this bad boy. Big Daddy G. Jeremy Gardner has found himself up here at the front.
Yeah, Jeremy Gardner now to the lead for the first time here this evening, albeit during the pit cycle, but still showing that he does have the speed. He does have the ability to get up there and try to race for this win here this evening. And not surprised to see him try something a little bit different. I mean, he's got that win already. He's locked in. Why not go out there, maybe throw something up against the wall, see what sticks with the strategy, catches that caution that he needs. He's going to be in a pretty good spot here on the track position.
Shout out to Nick Saban on that one right there. I mean, literally, even though you're an Oregon fan, but I mean, quote Nick Saban, I guess you could say, do what you got to do. Gardner could really throw a monkey wrench into this whole race. You see Cody Anderson right there behind him. Look at what he's running right here, about a half a second slower than what some of these guys did when they went down pit road. You see him 24.8. He just hit a 24.8, and then you got the others back here hitting 23s. So, I mean, you're just, is what it is, I mean, you got some of them at their 24.5. So, Gardner really not that bad in a spot, if you will, for where he's at. Daniel, do you think maybe, just maybe, he'd be able to make it on fuel? I mean, because, I know tires sucks here, but, I mean, do you think he may be able to make it on fuel?
I mean, man, if he could, that would be really, really impressive. Never mind. Yeah. You teed it up and Gardner said, yeah, I don't really care what y'all want to talk about for pit strategy. I'm going to go ahead and hit pit lane here. That's going to hand the lead over to Charles Abert in the number 7, yet to come down and make that final green flag pit stop. And he's got to be praying for a caution right now. I mean, look at where he would be. He's got most of the field a lap down at the moment. It's probably going to end up having Jeremy Gardner a lap down by the time that this cycles around. I mean, if a caution came out right now, that would be the ultimate gift for him to be able to possibly get out there and steal a win this evening.
Yeah, I mean, and think about that right there for Charles Abert, because we already looked as far as the points goes. Charles Abert he has a win, so I mean he would be. No,
he
actually,
does not
no.
have a win in this
Scratch
one.
that.
That's a Friday night
No,
series.
it's not.
Win.
Well, thank you, Lucas. You completely screwed up exactly where I was going with that. But there you see it. Charles Abert does not have that win. Charles Abert is 11 points out of the cut line. Abert gets a win. He's in. So I agree. At this point, I think honestly, Charles Abert, you have made your bed. You got to lay in it. I would run this as long as I possibly could. I would run it till the damn thing was out of gas. Literally, run it till it's out of gas. Run it till a damn tire pops, because this is your opportunity to make it into the playoffs, literally, because it's like you said, everybody in the field, with the exception of Timothy Wilms, is a lap down. What are they going to do if a caution comes out? Abert, he's going. Wilms, he's going. Canova, obviously, we get the lucky dog. He's going. What's Drabick do? What's Ellingson do? What's Pendleton, Silvers? What do these other guys do at that point? Do they take the wave around, be on old shoes? Or do they risk it and go down and get freshies? 20 laps to go right here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of mind games and a lot of drama fixing to play out.
Yeah, I mean, you would definitely have to come down pit road. You wouldn't be able to stay one lap down. You got somebody like Patrick Drabick. He's actually scheduled to make yet another pit stop getting near the end of his fuel run here. Actually, he was a lap down prior to this green flag cycle kicking off. So he's just kind of hoping that he can maybe get a free pass at this point. Dylan Canova has unlapped himself. So if the caution came out, Drabick he'd get a pretty big gift here as well, being able to get the lap back, get the fresher tires. Of course, just as soon as I say that, Ellingson goes around him, so never mind. We'll go ahead and scratch that. Pat out there soldiering on with the damage on the front of that car from the first spin, the first incident of the evening. So not been the evening that the boss man's looking for.
Yeah, I mean, and you were just talking good about him, and then all of a sudden Ellison goes right out. I mean, are you trying to get fired? Are you trying to get fired, Daniel? That's what I mean, are you trying to? Because, you know, every time you talk good about Patrick Drabick, somehow or another, you end up screwing him when we go to him. I mean, are you trying to get fired? I mean, I gotta ask the question.
I mean, if I'm trying to, it ain't easy to do around here, because no matter how much I say about him and how many times it screws him over, you're still stuck with me up here.
Oh, Lord, Tyler Justice, you see him right there at 33, sitting in P8. Jeremy Gardner right there in front of him, and then James Silver's not too far back as well. Gardner trying to gas up, trying to get gone from Justice. This paper, oh wow, we're coming to 15 laps to go right here. This is going to get interesting right here. Will Abert be able to make it? He's riding a whole lot slower than the rest of these guys. Abert might have went ahead and went for the, that strategy deal of just take it easy, lift as much as I can, and just make it happen. There you see right there. We'll check out his RPMs and his speed going down through here. He looks, it doesn't really look anything out of the ordinary, to be honest with you, Daniel. I mean, as far as his speed, his RPMs, nothing really looks out of the ordinary. He looks like he's just running normally right here. So, I thought maybe he was lifting early, maybe not getting on the gas quick, or trying to do something different to try to save fuel, but it really looks like he's not doing anything different. As now I mention it, see now, hell, I'm screwing him at this point. Abert goes down pit road. Timothy Wilms already got a win this season. Timothy Wilms, will he be able to make it?
We saw Timothy Wilms pull that strategy move at Darlington to get his win on the season. So, we can't rule it out. He's already proved us wrong once before this season, but I don't know. I think with it only being 60% fuel this evening, and with the with just the differences that we're seeing, plus it ain't gonna matter anyway. Dylan Canova's going to be there and pass him here in another couple of laps, even if Wilms can make it. But if he can make it, he's still going to come out ahead of where he would have been otherwise. So sometimes you're doing this, you're not necessarily hoping for the win per se, you're just hoping to just put yourself in a spot for a better finish. But right now, getting down here close to 10 laps to go, and Timothy Wilms, I mean, he's got his chips all in, either banking on that caution or maybe he can pull another rabbit out of the hat and make it to the end.
Yeah, I mean, and you mentioned it, Daniel. That's a great thing to talk about out of this, because Timothy Wilms, when he won at Darlington, you come out here, and even if you don't win the race, say you come out of this and you get a P3, you go into the round of 12 with momentum. You go into the playoffs with momentum. And I've heard people say it in the past. Oh, momentum, it's nothing. The hell it ain't. Momentum can really help you out. A big deal is you see Canova slides around Wilms and takes over the lead, but momentum in any sport, and even in sim racing, momentum can mean a whole lot. It can give you a lot of confidence. It can help you out with a lot of things. So Timothy Wilms, if he gets a P3 here tonight, he's going to have some serious momentum going into Charlotte next week.
Yeah, momentum can work the other way too. I mean, how many times have you been racing? I know it's happened to me a bunch where it's like you get one bad finish, and next thing you know, you're ended up on the rollback for 3 or 4 races in a row, or if you're Lucas Lyons for most of the season. But it works both ways for you. So you get a couple of good finishes here before the playoffs start, try to carry that through. Got a couple of drivers battling for position right here. This at the back portion of the top 10, 9th, 10th, and 11th, all underneath of a blanket fighting for position right now.
Speaking of what you talked about the momentum, I've actually been right smack dab in the middle of it. Think about it like this. Win a race, and then just out of nowhere, about 5 or 6 straight weeks, you couldn't buy a damn finish. Like, you could not. I mean, and I'm not talking about a win. I'm not talking about a top 10. I'm talking about just finishing the race. Not worried about the lead lap, just finishing and making it all the way. Even if you were 3 laps down, I couldn't even buy one for like 5 weeks after I wrecked or after I won. So, it's crazy just how things work. It's crazy how sim racing works and racing in general works, so you never know what can really happen. Canova leads. Wilms has already got passed by Ellenson. Wilms is now fixing to be in a battle with Pendleton. Actually, Ryan Pendleton shot around him like he was sitting still. Obviously, he's already locked in with his start here tonight. But Dylan Canova with 5 to go. This is the man we really need to be watching out for. Dylan Canova, very, very fast when the time matters.
Yeah, and he's really been the class of the field all evening. I mean, once we got rolling and got some green flag laps in, he's pretty much been in control of this event from that point. And it's not like he backed into it, even with the calamity at the beginning. I mean, the man started in P2 here this evening, or maybe not P2, but he started somewhere up near the front of the field. Yeah, it was P2 that he started. So he had the speed in practice. He had the speed in qualifying. And, I mean, he's just been able to maintain that throughout the course of the evening here.
Yeah, I mean, it very much. And with 3 to go, the number 70 working his way down off of turn number 2, going into turn number 3. He would love for this to go green, all green, but should a caution come out, it will definitely throw some drama smack dab in the middle of the regular season finale here tonight at Dover. 2 laps to go. Dylan Canova working his way off turn 1 and 2, coming around this time to hit the white flag.
And that's really the first one that he's looking for. Once that comes out, once he crosses that line for the 1 to go, he doesn't have to worry about any more tire spin on a restart. Doesn't have to worry about any more of that. No more cautions at that point. White flag is out one more time around for the 70 of Canova.
Dylan Canova really talking about momentum a while ago. What momentum would work out good for you to go into the round of 12 at America's Home for Racing Charlotte next week? I tell you what, talk about some momentum, winning your way in and getting yourself into the playoffs. Dylan Canova wins the regular season finale here tonight at Dover. Led 84 laps, put a virtual whooping on him here tonight. Started on the outside of the front row, and Dylan Canova gets the win here tonight at Dover. Wow, Jake Ellingson comes home second. Looks like he should be good to go as far as points go. So Ellingson will probably make the playoffs as well. Cut line will be interesting. Canova ain't worried about that damn cut line. He's going to victory lane here at Dover.
Yeah, Dylan Canova getting that first win of the season at the perfect time. Man, he didn't even take it to the front straightaway to burn it down. He's just going to bring it down pit road. I don't think that Dover is one of the tracks that you can actually take it to victory lane here, is it, Jake? Hell, maybe it is. Maybe that's
yes,
where
it
he's
is,
going.
apparently.
Oh,
Damn,
well, I learned something today.
I did too. Wow, I did not know that.
I knew there was a bunch of them that they've added, but I didn't know that Dover was one of them. So, yeah, just a couple of rednecks out here just enamored by the fact that you can actually take it to victory lane now.
Well, I mean, and funny thing about that right there, I mean, I was sitting here wondering, I was like, why didn't he just burn it down? And the funny thing is, I think he has won a couple of times. At least I would think he's won here a couple of times here at Dover. Just literally knew exactly where the victory lane was, knew exactly that he could slide in there. So I would bet on it that Dylan Canova, he's, he knows a thing or two because, he's done a thing or two, at least here at Dover. You see Monster Miles way down there in the top left. And Dylan Canova ain't going to worry about Miles the Monster here tonight. He gets the win at Dover. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, round up all our podium finishers, get our final analysis, and get you ready for playoff racing next week in Charlotte. We're back at Dover here in a sec. Don't go anywhere.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
here at Dover with a wild one here tonight. Started off wild and ended wild, if you want to put it that way. And the big man himself, Dylan Canova, gets the win here tonight at Dover. We'll check out your race results. Canova wins, obviously locking himself straight into the playoffs. Had 3 cautions for 6 lead changes here this evening. Canova got the win. Ellingson finishes second. Jake Ellingson, that is. And Ryan Pendleton comes home with a P3. All he had to do was start, and he was going to make it into the playoff field. We'll talk to those 3 drivers here in just a little bit. Jerry Gardner will come home in 4th. Big Daddy G, good run for him. Started 10th. Was able to bounce back. Got that lucky dog earlier as well and jumped up here and able to get him a top 5. And Timothy Welbs, who was clutching and saving fuel, he was able to make it work. He comes home with a top 5 here tonight. Jamie Barkus will finish in P6. Tyler Justice will finish 7th. Tyler Evans will finish 8th. Jamie Limke not. And Cody Anderson rounds out the top 10.
Finishing just outside the top 10. Last car on the lead lap, James Kaufman finishing in 11th. James Silver is going to come home in 12th with Charles Abert in 13th. Alex Cruz in 14th. The boss man, Patrick Drabick, in 15th. Claire Sisk coming home in 16th. Chuck Pegleg-Feld, 17th. George Jewell in 18th. That is actually the final driver that took the grid, made a lap here this evening. The others down the list there did not actually load into the race. So 18 drivers started, and that's your full race rundown here this evening.
Alrighty then, that rounds out the race results. So we'll go ahead, get to the man of the hour, which is Dylan Canova. Ends up getting the win here tonight. Dylan, buddy, congratulations on taming Miles the Monster. You get the win, lock yourself into the playoffs. Getting ready for Charlotte next week. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, thank you. And I think we're getting hot at the right time. Rallied off a couple of 4th place finishes, followed up by that podium at Pocono where we had a shot to win and then come back and win it this week. So I think we're getting hot at the right time. So it's been good so far.
Well, you mentioned getting hot at the right time. We talked about momentum during the broadcast. Just with the playoffs starting next week, heading to Charlotte, how are you feeling heading into that race? Do you think that's one that you can go out there and get you a back-to-back win?
I'd like to think so. I'm still getting used to these cars. I don't have a lot of seat time in them, so I'm getting a little bit better each week, especially when it comes to tire saving and figuring out how to make these things live on the long run. So I think we still need a little bit more to really be up front every single week, but I think we're getting closer, so I'm feeling good about it.
Back Force got a podium, and now he gets him a win, and he's just trying to get a little bit better. Everybody better watch out when we go to Charlotte. We get into these playoffs. This man right here, Dylan Canova, might have been flying under the radar. Could be Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series champion when it's all said done. Dylan, buddy, congratulations on the win. Appreciate your time. But as always, before we let you go, thank your sponsors and these shout-outs.
Yeah, thank you guys for broadcasting the race, all the fans out there watching it, all the admins that give us this great place to race, Cruisin Classics, Lincoln Tech, Save 22, all the sponsors that give this league the ability to give us a place to race. And then obviously everybody backed up at Revved Up Racing and Circle W Farms, Forged by Dennis, Victory Fuel, everybody on the car that makes this possible, and all the drivers showing out. It's nice to see a good field every week.
Thanking the fans. He'll be sticking around signing autographs, virtual autographs. I don't know how the hell you're going to do that, but we'll figure it out for Dylan Canova. He gets the win at Dover. Dylan, buddy, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you at Charlotte next week.
Thank you. See you then.
That was Dylan Canova gets the win here tonight. Pretty much dominating fashion, if you will. We'll go to P2, which is obviously Jake Ellenson in the 27, comes home with a P2 here tonight. Jake, we were talking about this. We were sitting here looking at the points. We were looking at it. You were, up 4 points, sitting right there in the 11th spot and everything else. And me and Daniel were talking about it. Just ride, just take your second place and just go ahead and just get ready for Charlotte next week for the playoffs. But you had to be trying to figure out a way to try to catch Dylan Canova. What else did you need?
Not to almost spin it off pit road during the green flag stops. That was about it. I mean, we were running pretty much nose to tail all night, and was gaining on them on our first green flag run, and then caution came out, we pit, and then was just trying to figure out a way to, save a little bit of tire, later in the run, and caution came out, and then we just hit and had green flag stops after that, and that's all she wrote. I mean, I really had nothing for him as soon as he got out that far.
Well, one of the things that it seemed like was helping him was those big jumps that he was getting on the restarts after the initial, we'll call it calamity from those first couple of starts there. I mean, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon compared to everybody else. So after that first one and the second one and the third one, were you kind of just trying to take it a little bit easy to avoid that wheel spin that we saw on those restarts?
Yeah, I don't know how he was doing it. I can only assume he was starting in third gear on them restarts to avoid it. But when I was in second, and then it was like halfway down the straight, and all of a sudden it just kicked in like high gear, and it just decided it wanted to spin. So, I mean, just try to take it easy. Yeah. I mean, not much more you can do.
Not much more he could do, but he'll come on with a P2 here tonight and get himself ready for Charlotte next week. Jake Ellens said, buddy, congratulations on P2. Appreciate your time. And as always, before we let you go, thank your sponsors and any shout-outs.
Definitely got to thank Lincoln Tech for putting their name on this number 27 for the second season in a row. Glad that they're partners with GLR here. Bigger things to come in 2026. Can't wait for it. Save 22, the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs Jam putting in promotions. You guys at V-Speed for doing all the hard work that you do. Alexander's PCs, MK Fire Design, SimMotion, and iRacing. And last but not least, I can't thank my beautiful wife, my wonderful daughters for allowing me to come out and have fun with you guys.
Well, Jake Ellenson comes out with a P2 here tonight. Jake, buddy, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the P2. We will see you at America's Home for Racing, Charlotte, next week.
Y'all have a good one.
That was Jake Ellenson. We'll send him on down, bring up the P3 man, which, I got to be honest with you. I mean, Daniel, you talked about it a second ago. All he had to do was start. I mean, all he had to do was just start the damn thing. He comes out here and starts it in P4, and he figured, you know what? What the hell? I'll just go ahead and run it, just see what happens. He ends up messing around and gets a podium out of this thing. Ryan Pendleton coming out with a good one here tonight. Ryan, congratulations on the P3 run. Tell us about it.
Appreciate it. Haven't had a lot of good ones this year between missing races and just lack of talent on my end and some bad luck. So it's good to finish a race and finish sort of towards the front. Yeah, really, I'm used to Dover having pretty significant tire fall off. So the whole race, I was like, I'm gonna let those guys drive hard and hope they build super loose and I can go around them. But it really didn't. It had a initial drop off and then it kind of just plateaued and stayed where it was. So on that, the last restart we had where I was up front, I just let them get out too far in front of me and there wasn't enough fall off. But happy after getting caught up in that first lap incident to come around and finish third.
Well, yeah, the box score is going to say that you started in fourth, finished third. It's going to make it seem like it was a pretty uneventful evening, but you mentioned having to work your way back up through the field. What was the car driving like when you were trying to get your way back up through there? I mean, does it have like a big difference with the aero balance compared to when you did get that clean air again?
It wasn't too drastic for me tonight. I don't know if that's just because of the track and the speeds or just the banking of it, but it wasn't too awful. You're able to kind of, like always at Dover, kind of diamond off those corners when you get a run and pass a guy going into the next turn, entry to turn. So I didn't notice a huge difference. And like I said, it didn't really get worse and worse. After about 10 laps into the run, it stayed the same feeling throughout the rest of the run, however long that was. So that threw me off a bit. But no, the car felt good. It wasn't overly loose. It definitely wasn't too tight coming off. Yeah, I just drove too slow, to be honest. There's a great win by Canova and a great run by Jake. So hate to see what happened to Jamie. Happy he got the pole, but I did that. Jeremy and I did that a couple weeks ago, so it's easy to do.
Absolutely. Ryan Pendleton, buddy, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Appreciate your time. But as always, before we let you go, thank your sponsors and any shout outs.
Yeah, appreciate it as always. Everyone at V-Speed, from the broadcasters to the producer team, everyone that puts in the work to do that so everyone can watch this awesome broadcast. iRacing and MK Fire Design, Sim Motion, and of course Cruisin Classics. I have them on the car. They're the sponsor of the series, and Nasty Sports Bar and Grill here in Columbus, Ohio as well.
Ryan Pendleton comes home with a P3 here tonight and be ready to rock and roll when we go to Charlotte next week. Ryan, congratulations on the podium. Appreciate your time. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
That was Ryan Pendleton comes home with the podium here tonight. There you see it, Daniel. This is where we're going next week. I talked about it. We're not going to the Roval, thank God. We're going to be on the 1.5 mile Charlotte Motor Speedway, kicking off the playoffs, round of 12, November 12th, 8 p.m. Eastern time. This is going to be a fun one, a great track to start off the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one to pick to start off with. It's always been a little bit of an interesting one for me whenever I've run it in the next gen, just with a lot of tire fall off, just drives really, really interesting. So it's gonna be curious to see who can get out there and get the playoffs kicked off on a good start.
It absolutely will. We'll be at Charlotte next week. There you see the time, the date, self lined up. If you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe to V-Speed. Keep up with everything going on for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen series. Not only that, but all the other series with Goat Locker. Well, Daniel, buddy, final thoughts on Dover. You loved it at the start. I think a lot of them loved it at the start. Some of the drivers were a little bit about the start, but your take of Dover here tonight.
Yeah, just I've never seen anything like it. What we saw at the beginning of the race with those three straight starts at the beginning and a little bit of issues, but even with that calamity at the beginning, these drivers put on a really good show. Got a lot of green flag runs in there towards the end of the race, and just kind of what you come to expect in that aspect here out of this Premier Series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that. I love Dover. I love the track. I love where we're going next week. I love how everything's going to work out, or may work out. We'll have to see what happens. The playoffs get going next week when we go to Charlotte. But Dover, love to start. I mean, the tires spin, the track tip, the concrete, Mazda Monster. Oh boy, it always gets me tickled when we come to Dover. Love this place. And to be honest with you, just to be honest with you folks, I think it kind of sucks that it's the All-Star race next season. But, I mean, hell, at least it's on the schedule, because Dover, a lot of history, a lot of tradition, and love the place. It absolutely put on a good one here tonight. But, folks, that's going to do it for this broadcast here on V-Speed. Got to thank all our great sponsors. Obviously, Lincoln Tech, Save 22, MK Fire Designs, Invets, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, and obviously Glove Station. Can't forget about Above the Yellow Line podcast. And oh yeah, can't forget about Cruisin Classics, which they are the title sponsorship of the Cruisin Classics Next Gen series that you saw here tonight. And can't forget about iRacing, because if we didn't have iRacing and it wasn't this, hey, we wouldn't be, we'd be staring at a black screen. Literally, I say it each and every week, Daniel. And also got to give a huge shout out to Dougie Beard for the cams here tonight. Absolutely beautiful stuff. So thank you very much to Dougie Beard. Got to give a shout out to the fans for always coming out big old numbers, and the drivers for always putting on a hell of a show. Patrick Dravick, Jamie Barkus, Eddie Smith, everybody involved to make this what it is. Allow us to come out here, be ourselves, entertain you guys, see some of the best racing on iRacing. For old Double L, Lucas Slides, and also for Daniel Cunningham on the Redneck Announcer, Jake Reams, said as I always say, be safe, be kind, be fast. Oh, baby, the regular season is over. We're ready to rock and roll. We don't know what the points is. We don't want to say nothing yet because nothing's official. Never know. Somebody might get DQ'd for all we know. But one thing is for damn sure. We will be at Charlotte next Wednesday night. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Will you be there? You damn well better be there. We're going playoff racing for the Cruisin Classics Next Gen Series. We'll see you 8 p.m. Eastern time next Wednesday night.